At first, it wasn't so bad. I hung out with a few people I remembered from primary, and everything seemed to be going okay, but it couldn't stay that way for long. It seemed a group of older kids had taken a disliking to me because of the fact that they knew my brother and saw me as a potential target. But that was only the start. After they left me alone, people in my own year started turning on me. I felt like I was nothing but a joke to them. I actually used to enjoy being at school because of how much I enjoyed hanging around my friends, but that all went away for the first 3 years of secondary school. I was at a stage where I felt like life wasn't worth it. I felt hated by everyone and that nobody cared about me anymore. However, as that summer holiday progressed, I began to see where I was going wrong. I realised that I needed to not give in to what people did to me, and just do what I did all those years ago. Be a cheerful and fun-loving chap. And that's exactly what I did. But on Friday the 2nd of September 2011, me and my brother were given news that our parents were going to separate. This news would have an impact on our lives forever.
We haven't really had massive numbers of negative days. We've had, the odd issue about sort of exam results and blah blah blah, and disappointments, but we haven't really had negative days necessarily. That I think was the biggest negative day in my lifetime, in almost all 40 years of it, and I know I agonised about what to say, when to do it, how to do it, and I know your mum did as well, and without going into the details of it, it is something that we both deeply regret having to happen. But ultimately, I think the 3 or 4 years since have proven it was the right thing to do. However, that's with hindsight. At the time, I think we just decided that at the end of the day, we're just going to sit you two down and tell you.
I think when we announced that we were going to separate, I thought you'd maybe take it quite hard actually, but you seemed to take it like just matter of fact. It was just another, could have been anything.
Yeah.
Where the other side, Connell, took it worse than you.
Yeah.
And I think that's that shows you that you have autism. So you take things, you think, oh well, that'll be fine. We'll just carry on with it.
Well, then it's quite ironic considering one of the traits of autistic people is that they're not too fond of change.
Mm.
And the fact that that was probably the biggest change I've gone through alongside non-school related, it's quite ironic how the person who doesn't normally take change well takes it quite well.
You took it well.
As well. Ultimately, you sat there and took it on the chin and didn't react, and were actually incredibly grown up and incredibly adult about it. And we thought you were going to be the problem, and you weren't. And I'm not saying your brother was a problem. He reacted how I thought you were going to react.
Right.
He was full of emotion and close to tears, and as you know, obviously here I didn't speak for about 3 or 4 weeks afterwards.
That night, when I was told that my parents, who I'd always seen as a loving couple, were separating, was horrible. I managed to hold it together while I was sat there talking to them, but afterwards, when I was in my room alone, I did nothing but cry. I lay in bed that night with an all new set of questions whizzing around my head. Was it my fault? Have they had enough of me and my brother constantly not getting along? Or is it just me? It didn't stop in school either. Having only just started my GCSEs as I heard the news wasn't a good time for me. I remember forgetting everything I had learned that summer and becoming that closed-off guy who nobody spoke to once again. I was at my lowest point and I felt like nothing was going to get me out of this peril of depression.